Welcome everybody to the Master of Quantitative Economics info session. We're really happy you could join us this morning to learn more about our program. We're very excited to share some more information with you. My name is Amy Muchnick. I'm Director of Academic Affairs for the MQE, and I'd like to introduce my colleague, Nicole Lamberti. She's Associate Director of Academic Affairs. And also we have Shani Mahalu, who is Director of Career Services for the MQE, and she'll be sharing some more information later on. Nicole, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, welcome everyone, and thanks for coming to this meeting this morning. I'm excited to talk with you today about the MQE. And if you have any questions that come up while you're listening to this or at the end, please type them in the Q&A. And we will get to those at the end. So first off, welcome again. And we are accepting applications for fall 22 right now until the deadline, which is March 15th. So this is UCLA. One of the most iconic buildings is Royce Hall. And UCLA is a really beautiful campus. So if you are admitted into the program, I think it's a great place to go to school. So this program was created in 2016 in response to the high demand for students who wanted a master's degree in economics, as well as employers who were looking for candidates with more advanced training than an undergraduate degree. So there are many students that wanted to have more training, but they didn't necessarily want to do a PhD, and they preferred to do a terminal master's degree. And this program was designed to help better prepare students to serve in many different fields, whether that be finance, government policy, or private industry. So this degree will prepare students to succeed in an increasingly global economy. We have a large number of students from all over the world. So I think that's a real benefit of this program is you'll be able to learn not only from your professors, but also from each other. And you may have been taught economics in a different way. You may have work experience or internship experience that you can share with each other. It will also help develop techniques for interpreting real research into real world application, as well as examine global economic issues. This Master of Quantitative Economics degree will equip you with valuable quantitative and analytical skills, improve your business success and refine policy analysis, as well as increase your job marketability. So Shani will talk a little bit later about our career services, but it is a huge part of our program. So one of the programs that we have implemented since the very beginning in 2016 is a program called Economists in Action. So this is a course that students will take where we invite guest speakers to do a lecture or a mini course. And these could be professors from other universities, they could be industry leaders. We've had Nobel laureates come to speak to our students, and it's a really great opportunity for our students to learn from these high-ranking economists. Our faculty is also one of the draws of the program. UCLA has pioneering faculty in economics, and our students are learning from them every single day. Most of our classes are taught by ladder faculty. We also invite some industry leaders to teach courses within the program. UCLA's economics department is ranked one of the highest in the world. And UCLA, as I mentioned, is a great place to go to school. Even beyond the economics department, there's always things going on campus and student organizations that you can get involved in as well. And beyond UCLA, Los Angeles is a great place to live. There are a huge amount of companies that are based there. So if you're looking for internships or looking to work in LA after you graduate from the program, it's great to have that already there where you can go to these companies and you can apply for jobs and you're already living in the city. The alumni network at UCLA is huge. It spans over 400,000 alumni around the world in all different industries at all different levels. So we try to do a lot of events that will connect you with alumni from UCLA, not only alumni from the MQE, but alumni from the economics department, undergrad economics, PhD economics. So you'll be able to connect with people from everywhere and people who are CEOs, people who are in the industries that you want to be in. So just to go over the application checklist for any of you that are planning on applying for fall 2022, one of the things we need is your unofficial academic records. So this is your transcripts. We do not need you to send us in the mail the transcripts right now. All we need is you to download it from your school's website and just upload it to our application. If we need the official ones, we'll contact you later about that. And please include transcripts from every university that you've gone to. So I know some students do 2 years at one school and 2 years at another. So please include the transcripts for both of those schools. GRE is required for all of our students. There are no waivers for that, and we do not accept the GMAT. It is only the GRE. For international students, if you are going to school abroad in a country that you do not have English as the language of instruction or the language of everyday life, you will need to submit your TOEFL or IELTS. It's up to you which one you want to do. If you have gone to school in the US or the UK or Australia for at least 2 years full time, then you can be waived the language test, but it has to fall within that category. Statement of purpose and personal history statement. These are required for students to submit. It's just a way for us to get to know you better. There's not a specific topic you have to write about. People write about different things, like why they're interested in economics, why they want to do a master's degree, what they hope to do in the future. It's really up to you what you want to write about, but it's a good way for us to learn more about you. Supplemental questions. These are just like 5 or 6 yes or no questions that you'll have to answer in the beginning of the application. At least 2 letters of recommendation. So we will accept a 3rd letter if you have it, but we only require you to submit 2 of them. And these can be from your professors. If you were doing an internship or if you've been working, you can have it be from a supervisor. I recommend that you have at least one be academic. And then your resume or CV, we will require. Please put any internship, work experience. If you have any technical or programming skills, that's a great place to put it as well. If you've taken any sort of online courses or on Coursera or things like that, definitely put that on your resume. And then there's a application fee, and this is the same for all programs at UCLA. One thing I wanted to point out is that UCLA has a restriction that you cannot apply to more than one program at UCLA within the same application cycle. So if you are trying to decide between our program and another program at UCLA, you won't be able to apply for both. If you try to apply for both, then the second one you apply to, like that department will not be able to see your application at all. This is a sampling of some of the faculty that teach in our program. And in the next, one of the next slides, I'll show you some of the courses that we offer. So again, this is a sample of some of the courses that we've offered. We have a couple required courses that students have to take. And then beyond that, we give you a lot of freedom in terms of picking courses based off of what you're interested in within the MQE courses. We also try to change courses, add courses, depending on what's going on in the job market, what we feel is necessary that students know before they leave the program. So we always try to keep our students updated on the latest technology and the latest information. So these are some of the program requirements. All students are required to take at least 48 units of MQE courses, as well as do a capstone project, which I'll talk about a little bit later. You must complete the program with at least a 3.0 cumulative GPA. All students are required to take Econ 410, which is the Economists in Action course I was talking about earlier with the guest speakers. You are required to take that in the first 3 quarters of the program. And if you would like, you may do a concentration in a specific field, such as data analytics or finance, and that would require you to take a certain amount of courses within that, that concentration. For the capstone project, students work with a faculty advisor to do this paper. So this will usually be done in your very last quarter of the program. For the MQE, you are allowed to complete the program in anywhere between 3 to 6 quarters. So that's 1 to 2 academic years. It's up to you. Some students like to finish the program very quickly, so they want to do it within just 1 year. Other students want to take more time. They may want to take less classes per quarter or try to do an internship at the same time. So they may do up to 2 years. So the capstone you'll usually do in your last quarter. So you will choose a faculty advisor that has experience related to the topic you're writing about. And we are quite flexible about your topics. So some professors will write up a list of sample topics and you can choose one of those. But most of our students come up with their own topic. And as long as your faculty advisor agrees that you can write about that, then you're free to do that. It's about a 15 to 20 page paper, and this will be due at the end of your last quarter. So if you're just doing 1 year, that would be the end of spring, but if you're doing fall, 4 quarters, it would be due in December. The capstone paper is a great tool that you can use when you're job hunting because it really showcases your skills. It showcases the things you've learned within the program. So a lot of our students have brought it up in their interviews, and it's a really great way to show this is what I've learned in the program. And now I will pass it on to Shani, who will talk a little bit about the career services.
Thank you, Nicole, and hello, everyone. Again, I'm Shani Mahalu. I'm Director of Corporate Relations and Professional Development. I work directly with employers and students in finding their career upon graduation and pursuing internships as part of the program if they choose to extend beyond summer and develop themselves in terms of their career. I'd like to share some information about MQE Career with you today. The first one, and I saw the question as well come up, where students go upon graduation. So the top 5 student career interests are finance and fintech, consulting, investment banking, data science and analytics. While it's a function more than an industry, it's definitely a booming space where a lot of our students are focusing their interest in getting into the field and utilizing the skills from the program, specifically their technical skills in Python, R, SQL, to pursue those opportunities. And our students are sought after by those companies that are growing their data teams. So it's a very exciting time to join a program like the MQE. And the last one is government agencies, policy, and the public sector in general. Could also be a nonprofit organization. In terms of career success, as Nicole mentioned, there are opportunities for applied learning as part of the program, meaning that you will work with an industry leader that might be an adjunct faculty teaching within the program, or a company that will partner with MQE specifically to present a business problem or a business challenge that they need MQE help with. And we will put together a consulting team that is supervised by a faculty member that will work directly throughout the quarter with the company to provide recommendations and to apply the learning from the program specifically to solve the business problem. And those opportunities are available to all students. You have to apply to be selected, and you can absolutely list those experiences on your resume as professional experience. And as Nicole said, speak about those in your interviews with potential employers. And lastly, our success. We have 91% of our graduates securing opportunities within 3 months of graduation and 100% of them within 6 months, which is quite remarkable. Students attend the program from all over the world, not just from the US, and we work with international, as you can see, thank you, Nicole, and domestic companies to generate opportunities, to increase students' awareness at what's possible, to make introductions and connections through our robust alumni network, but also through our robust corporate partnerships with companies, as you can see here, such as Amazon, Deloitte, PwC, Uber is a big employer, Accenture, and more, McKinsey and Company, and more smaller and mid-size and big brands in those sectors, again, of consulting, technology, financial services, governmental agencies, and data science. And here is a good example of some of the common roles and sectors and specific organizations that are hiring our students. And so you can see some of the roles, and it would be a good practice to search on some of the job search platforms for you, those job roles specifically, and look at job descriptions to get a better idea of the type of work you can do upon graduation. Business analyst, data analyst, consultant, data consultant, a lot are going into economy consulting specifically, economics consulting, financial analyst, market researcher, research is a big field, strategy analyst, and so forth. And it could be anywhere from a small startup to a Fortune 500 company.
And if any of you are applying for 2022, just a reminder that the applications are due on March 15th. We do have rolling admissions, so if you'd like to turn in your application earlier, that's totally fine, and we will start reviewing it once we get it.
I wonder if I could just interject a couple of things at this point. So I would like to just say what I think makes the MQE a particularly great choice. There are a few things. One, obviously, UCLA is a great school to go to. We have, it's world-renowned. We have amazing professors that teach in this program. Also, some of the best economists teaching at our university from across the globe, very international. We also offer career services within the MQE. We have a dedicated team that Shani is heading up, and I think that makes a huge difference to our students. The career team is providing many opportunities for you to grow your skills, your interviewing skills. We have help with resume writing and just advising as you go along. And and I would encourage everybody who ends up coming to the program to take advantage of that, because that's a real huge benefit to get that counseling and guidance as you go through the program. Another thing that is very unique about our program, I believe, is that it was set up to be nimble and flexible. So as things change in the industry, we are reacting to that with what we offer you. So it is really important as the industry changes to stay up to date with the skills that are needed to best set you up for success. And we try to really respond to those changes and bring you the most current types of instruction that we can. So with that being said, I'll let applications actually open now. As Nicole said, the deadline is March 15th, but it's open now. So that's it.
Thank you, Amy. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and then we'll get to the question part. So I see some people have already started typing in questions. If you have any questions that come up as we're speaking now, please type them in now. So one person asked, how much are the fees and do you offer full ride scholarships? So the fees for the program can be found on our website exactly what they are. However, we are a program that you are paying per unit of classes that you're taking. So all students, like I said, have to take 48 units. However, you can space that out for 3 quarters, 4, 5, 6 quarters. So you would be paying about $1,015 per unit that you're taking. And then in terms of fellowships, we do offer fellowships. So you don't have to do a special application for that. If you're accepted into the program, you will be considered for a fellowship, and we will email you to let you know if you've been selected. The amounts for those fellowships can vary. So it can be a few $1,000s up to, full tuition. It really just depends as they're.
And those are merit-based scholarships.
Yes, those are merit-based, as Amy mentioned. What GRE score do you require, or what is the benchmark or class average? So we don't have a required GRE score. I can tell you within the GRE, there's 3 sections. There's quantitative, verbal, and analytical. Our admissions committee within the GRE is looking a lot at your quantitative score, and there is not a benchmark that you need to hit in order to be accepted into the program. Our program is looking at all the applications holistically. So we're looking at every single part of the application. There's not one section that is going to knock you out of the running necessarily. If you feel like you're weaker in one area, it can be made up for in another area. In terms of an average score, I would say in some of the past years, the quantitative average was about in the low 90 percentile, so probably around 92%, but that's just an average. We had students obviously that got lower than that. So definitely, study for the GRE, but there's also all the other parts of the application are as important. For international students, WES is not required for the transcripts. That's correct. We do not accept WES scores. Please send your real transcripts. If you went to an international school and the transcripts are in your native language and English, we would need both of them, but we do not need one of those third-party services. How much is the application fee? I believe the application fee is around $120, something like that. Yeah.
There's a great website. If you just, look at the UCLA Graduate Division website, and then you can see our a lot of the information that you're asking about will be there under our program, under the MQE program.
Yeah, and the application fee is the same no matter what program you're applying to. So that is also on the Grad Division website. How many students are in each class, and what's the percentage of international students? So the class size varies among the different cohorts. It really depends on how many applicants we get and how good the applicants are. The current cohort that started in 2021 is 100 students. And the percentage of international students, we have quite a lot of international students. I would say the percentage is maybe around has been like around 70 to 80% international. What is the percentage of incoming students that receive merit-based aid? I don't know the percentage off the top of my head.
That varies as well.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it really varies year to year how many people get aid because it is merit-based. So we're not having like a quota of how many students we're giving aid to. It really depends. If there's like a lot of really great students, we can give more aid. Some years it may be less. If I want to work part-time on campus, do you have opportunities to do that? Yes, you are able to work part-time if you would like. It really depends on what you're looking to do. So in terms of like being a teaching assistant, a lot of those jobs are taken by PhD students, but you can still look into that. You can look into being a research assistant, that's possible. Working on campus, like if you just want to work at the library or like the store, that's totally fine. And we do, I believe Shani and her team do try to find opportunities on campus as well and let you know about it. One student asked, my wife will travel with me. What can she do as part of the benefits to study with UCLA? So you would have to see, I'm not sure. It depends if like they're coming internationally, if they have, the right to work or not, that would really depend on your visa. What math courses should a student take in order to be better prepared for the program? That's a great question. So the courses that we recommend in terms of math would be calculus, statistics, and linear algebra. So those are not hard requirements, but they're very, very highly recommended that you take them because it will better prepare you for the program because it is a quantitative program.
This would be a good time to interject. During the summer, before you join the program, we offer 2 boot camps. One is a math boot camp and one is a programming boot camp. Both are taught by instructors in our program, so they're very geared toward what you need to know. So it would be, they're free, they're offered free of charge to all admitted students. And we would highly recommend that every student take that, even if it's just a refresher course for you, but it has a lot of valuable information to get you ready for your first quarter.
Mm-hmm. One student asked if their GRE is not high enough, will we refuse their application? No, as I said, we're going to look at every single part of the application. So, that's not something that you need to worry about. Another student asked, are any classes offered in the evening for those that want to do the program in 6 quarters and continue working? It really depends on scheduling. We can't guarantee that there's always going to be evening classes. So if you decide to work while you're in the program, you would have to make sure that your job is flexible enough that you could still take courses during the day on some days, because we cannot guarantee that classes are going to be offered at night. The deadline is March 15th. Would earlier submission put the applicant at an advantage? We're still reviewing all the applications, even the ones we get on March 15th. So you could still be admitted at that point. The advantage to applying earlier is just that you'll find out the decision earlier, whether that be an acceptance, a decline, or a wait list. You'll at least know the decision the earlier you apply. Approximately how long does it take for an admissions decision? I really can't give you an exact timeline. We try to review the applications as soon as possible. We have an admissions committee that is reviewing your applications. However, it is a process and we have a lot of applications coming in, so I can't give you an exact timeline of when you'll get that decision. One student's asking about, vaccines and can they travel? So that you would have to look up on the ASH Center, which is the health center at UCLA. There are certain requirements for vaccines that students have to get. Otherwise, there'll be like a hold placed on your account and you cannot enroll. So I would suggest checking that. What certificate will I receive after I finish the program? So it's a Master of Arts in Quantitative Economics. Is the program ideal for venture capitalism or venture management? Does the program encourage entrepreneurship? So Shani, maybe you can answer that one.
Yes, absolutely. A great question. And the answer is yes. This is a very entrepreneurial program. It was established 5 years ago. And as Amy mentioned, it's a nimble and flexible environment where we act as in alignment with the market. So as we see new ideas and new trends in the business, we adjust our curriculum as well. And so, of course, we will encourage people with a similar spirit to join the program as well. And you absolutely can start your own practice upon graduation if those are your aspirations. And again, as Amy mentioned, we have a career team that will, myself included, support you in planning your steps upon graduation, make connections to individuals, if it's venture capital specifically or innovation, to help you further and advance yourself in that direction. We have an advisory council as well with experts from the field. A lot of them are very senior individuals working in the field that will specifically be able to meet with individuals and support them. If this is your direction, we will connect you with the right individuals that will help you be successful.
Great, thank you, Shani. Another student asked, is the program rolling admission? Yes, it is rolling admission. Another student said, if I come up with great ideas while studying at UCLA, will there be any organization or center in the school to support my ideas or innovation? So yes, UCLA is a very supportive campus. There's always new ideas being put forward. And like I said, there's student organizations on campus that promote entrepreneurship. So if that's what you mean, then yes, that's definitely something you can find on campus.
I'd like to add to that, Nicole, that that's the essence of attending graduate school. And so as a graduate student, many opportunities will become available, especially at a school like UCLA, with clubs, with associations, with organizations, within our MQE community of students and alumni. And beyond that, the UCLA alumni community, UCLA One, there are platforms and networks, and really the opportunities are endless. It's the student motivation and drive and determination that will determine the success, and we're all here to support and provide those services and make those connections.
What are the main characteristics that you'd like to see in a prospective UCLA student? So I think what Shani just said, that drive is one of the most, if not the most important aspect. So we definitely want someone that is proactive. They're willing to, do the work needed to do their classes, do their capstone, find a job, go to these events that we provide you. But having the drive to succeed is really important, and be willing to put the work in as well. We want someone that's obviously interested in the subject, interested in economics, passionate about that. But I think having that drive is super important. Shani, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely. Having the skills as well, the analytical one, the quantitative skills will be a major part of your application, but sharing your background and experience and the motivation to pursue this education specifically through your education, and telling your story in a way that you bring to life your, again, determination, your drive, your passion to making a difference in the field specifically will definitely be something that will be well received by the admissions committee.
Another student asks about the cost of living in Los Angeles. So that's something, again, I can't really tell you a figure off the top of my head. I would suggest if you go to the graduate division website, which is grad.ucla.edu, I believe they have some information about living in LA and may give you some idea of how much the cost is. You can also check the housing website for UCLA because that will at least give you an idea of how much the dorms cost to live in, and that will kind of help you get that figure. How safe is the campus and what are the general housing options? The campus is very safe. There's always people around. There's, security. We have our own police force, UCLA police. And in terms of housing, there is housing options for graduate students that you can apply to. So there are some really great dorms specifically for grad students. And it is a lottery system. So if you are accepted, apply for housing right away and they will let you know if you're selected, but there is more students applying than there are apartments. So I would try and, apply as soon as you can. And then you can also look for options off campus. There are some websites where students can post if they're looking for roommates and things like that. So you can at least be with someone also from UCLA. So one student said that they are in a dual degree program with a university in China and a university in Ireland. And they can only get the transcript after the end of the first semester. So that's fine. Just make it clear that you're attending both schools, and you can put if you don't have your transcript yet because it's only your first quarter in the second school, that's okay. But make sure you put it, there's a place where you can put what university you went to. Make sure you put both, and then you can upload whatever you have, even if it doesn't have the grades on it, but it just has the classes you've enrolled in, that's fine. And you can add those later on. Is the program STEM designated? Yes, we are a STEM program. So for international students that want to work after the program, that means that we do get the 3-year OPT. Can you tell us more about the applied project? Sure. Shani, do you want to take that one?
Absolutely, that's a great question. It's so the Applied Project is a collaboration with the business market, and as we build relationship with companies, very often there is an opportunity to invite the company to work specifically with a group of students that become consultants with the organization. And so specifically how this is set up, there's an application to it. So we will promote between 1 and 3 opportunities each quarter for students to consider applying to in terms of becoming consultants on that team and supporting the company with the project. As part of the application, there would be a technical assessment to assess the skills and the readiness of the individual to join the consulting group that will support the company. As we work with the company, we learn about some of the internal challenges that are related to the field of quantitative economics, of course, data science, data analysis, that we can help partner with them in solving. And so companies, and it really depends. I don't want to name companies specifically, but it can be from the field and the industry of retail, of banking, of a small startup company, to really a large organization that will be challenged with an area that they would love the academic knowledge and quantitative skills of the MQE program to partner and come and solve. And so the engagement would be that the company will launch the project by introducing the challenge, and the student throughout the 10-week quarter will meet with the client, the company, on solving the challenge. And so it would be doing research and presenting recommendations, utilizing data specifically. So participating in some of those fascinating presentations. I saw students building dashboards and analyzing data, and the client's reaction is such surprise and excitement by the solution that was introduced to them. So, and those opportunities are consulting opportunities that then are being listed on the resume, and companies are excited by them, and they could really direct the individual into the industry that they would like to pursue specifically. And so your selection of which project you'd like to be a part of should be related to the career you'd like to pursue. And students get very excited about it. And we have more and more organizations reach out to us now to inquire and request participation in that project. In the field of higher education, we refer to that as education to business. We provide the business sector with education from the classroom to advance their business needs.
Another student asked, what is the most attractive part of UCLA to us? So I think in terms of UCLA as a whole, what I like is that there's always something going on. So there's always events going on. It's not necessarily something only in the economics department. We do a lot of events, but you can go to events on campus. It's a beautiful campus. In terms of the program, I think what Amy mentioned earlier, we're always trying to respond to what's going on and like evolve. So I think that that's a really huge plus within the program, is that like what you're learning is not going to be like out of date in a few months. You know, you're going to be able to use those skills in the real world. Shani?
And I'll just have to add, and then you also have this amazing alumni network that is available to you. UCLA has a wide and, just a very large network of alumni, and Shani and her team will work to put you in touch with people from that group, which is like amazing.
Yeah, for me, I've been in higher education for over a decade, and UCLA is the #1 public university in the US. So definitely what it means to me is working with the best in the field and study and learn from them, whether I'm a staff member and you become a student and then an alumni. Having this affiliation with an institution with such reputation would really advance your career, and I think advance all of us as a community, and elevate who we are and the difference that we're making in the lives of other people. And so being associated with this type of excellence is motivated and energizing and exciting for me, definitely.
Another question is, I see the program is pretty industry focused. I'd like to ask whether any of the alumni decide to go to a PhD. Yes, that's a really great question. And yes, while the program is very industry focused and most of our students go on to work after, we do have a few students every year that move on to PhD programs. So it's definitely possible. It gives you a good foundation, and it gives you the opportunity to extend your knowledge beyond an undergraduate level. So that can really help when you are applying to PhD programs, because I think it gives you a bit of an edge over people coming from a bachelor's program. What is the difference between the personal history statement and the statement of purpose? I mean, there's not really a big difference. I believe on the application, there's a prompt that you can use for the personal history statement. But like I mentioned, both of those, they are both required, and they're both just a way for us to get to know you. So you can write about slightly different things in those.
Some people use the statement of interest, a statement of purpose, to sort of explain why they're a good fit for the program. And then you might use your personal history statement kind of showcasing your experiences, skills that you had, relevant courses that you've taken, that kind of thing. Some people use that as a differentiation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way to differentiate them. One student is asking about, for international students, when they apply for the I-20, do they have to show a certain amount of money? Yes, you do. I don't have the amount because that's something that our DASHU Center for International Students, they take care of the I-20 application portion of it. So what will happen when you're accepted into the program, if you decide to attend, you would fill out something called a statement of intent to register. So this is all students, domestic or international. If you're an international student, once you submit that SIR, it's called, and you pay the deposit, then you will be prompted to apply for an I-20. When you start applying for the I-20, you'll be able to see the amount of money that you would need to show in order to have the I-20 approved. So you can probably email the DASHU Center prior to accepting our offer if you want to know the exact amount in order to make sure that you have the funds. So I would suggest once you're admitted into the program, you might want to email them to tell them what program you're going to and see what that amount is before you accept. Another student said they are from Germany and the grading system is different from the US GPA system. A general explanation is present in the transcript. Is that fine to upload? Yes, that's fine. You don't need to do any conversion on your own. We are able to do that ourselves, and we can evaluate your grades. What statistical software does the MQE program primarily use? So our program, there is quite a lot of programming within it, depending especially what courses you're taking. We have used Python a lot. We use SQL and R as well. Does the personal history statement have to mention the underrepresented students? No, like Amy said, you can write about your background and tell us more about yourself, but it's up to you what you want to write about. If you are an underrepresented student, it is, you can mention it there and maybe talk about why you want to apply for this program or how your background has prompted you to do that, but it's up to you what you want to write about. So I believe we're finished with the questions. If anyone has any last minute questions right now, feel free to ask. Also, if you have something that's very specific to your individual situation, it may be better just to send us an email because then we can, write about your situation. So that would be at mqe-office@econ.ucla.edu. One student said they've already applied. How can they check on their review process? You don't need to check on that. If you've applied, we're reviewing your application. So as soon as we have more information for you, we will send it to you. If we're missing anything, we'll contact you ourselves. So I get a lot of emails of people saying, oh, it says that my GRE hasn't been uploaded or my TOEFL. Sometimes it takes a while to update in the system, so don't worry about that. We are reviewing them. We've likely gotten it, but it just hasn't updated. So you don't need to worry. If we are missing anything, we will reach out to you about it. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming. I hope that you were able to learn about the program and hopefully you will want to apply. So thank you again for coming and good luck.